Today we're going old school with a classic video response. This is something that I used to do on a segment I used to run on this channel called Facepalm Sunday, which I don't do anymore. Essentially, I take a video that somebody posts online and I respond to it. So let's get this started. You guys may remember a few years back, I covered a guy by the name of Repzion, aka Social Repose. Well, it just so happens that he is still somehow still around. For those of you who don't know, he is a dude, dresses up in this kind of bizarre costume and makes music. He's admitted to doing some horrible things, and quite frankly, seems to be a very sensitive person on this platform.
It's like I'm living in a fever dream in which I shall never wake.
Wake up, everybody wake up. You're living in reality, Richie. A reality where things that you do, things that you say, you are accountable for the things that you do, your behaviors and actions, and how you respond. Next few weeks, we're gonna get into a big trend of some videos that I plan on making, which you're going to see some people who say things, but then can't take accountability for the things that they say, and then get mad at people who, when people point out what they said and why it's really not okay for what they said, get angry at the internet, which, to me, doesn't make a lot of sense. And I gotta stop it right there for a moment. Special thanks to our sponsor today, Raycon. These are premium, high-quality earbuds for a fraction of the price, and they stick in your ears firmly. These are their new E25 model. They have fantastic Bluetooth connectivity. They're comfortable, nice snug fit, but most of all, they sound stunningly incredible. Best of the best. And they'll fit just about any ear size that you have. Click the link down below in the description, buyraycon.com/Repzion, and get 15% off these high-quality earbuds that will enhance your listening to music, audiobooks, whatever you want to listen to. That experience will be enhanced overall. Click the link. Support the channel. Brought to you by Raycon.
Ugh, Jesus. Hi, welcome to my channel. I want to talk about commentary channels today. There's a very specific reason why.
Hi, Richie, Social Repose. I know you don't like me, and that's fine, but I'm classified as a commentary channel. I do know you've said a few mean things about me on Twitch about a year and a half ago. That was fun. Called me a derogatory term, but hey, you know what? I don't hold ill will towards you.
And in the first half of my career as a musician slash YouTuber slash whatever you want to call me, I took the latter, and I was very aggressive with hate, and that kind of gave me this perception, this kind of clout, if you will, which was good for the time, not so good now. Now I generally pick the former of ignoring it, and since 2017 I have remained relatively quiet. I've generally kept to myself, but there's always these persistent commentary channels in the background. Every so often there'd be a bigger commentary channel. I would hear through the grapevine that they're collecting information on me. They're trying to build a story, to take me down.
Richie, I don't create stories on anyone that I try to cover here on YouTube. In fact, if you take a look at my X-Files series, which I now officially made a playlist for, linked down below in the description, you'll find that these stories are pretty much created by the people involved. Meaning that your story, your reputation, your image was created by you.
These videos are always incredibly scathing. They're incredibly mean-spirited, and I get the point of them is just to get a quick laugh. The point is to, you know, just kind of brain candy, easy to digest drama content. Here's the tea. This is a bad person. This is why they're a bad person. Let's make fun of them for 30 minutes to an hour. Up must inevitably come down. So in 2017, I had a big crash, I had a scandal, I had a very public breakup, and you know, I didn't conduct myself very well, and I've made literally, I think, close to a dozen dedicated videos on this very topic of how I've reflected on it, how I was wrong, how I acted, how it was not good, how it's kind of humbled me as a person, which is honestly the best thing I've taken away from this whole life experience of like being canceled and being this hated figure on the internet, even in my relevance.
Richie, I will always be for anybody making personal development and growth. You get on camera and you speak words, but the problem is that those words don't connect with the actual actions that you exhibit. And what I mean by this is even after your gigantic breakup, for those of you who don't know, he cheated on his girlfriend, Jacqueline Glenn, another YouTuber, cheated on her with an ex at a concert. I've already discussed this on my channel before when it happened a couple years back. That video is also linked down below in the description. But even after that relationship and that big blowout happened, he got into another relationship and cheated on another girl. Now, this other girl didn't have a large social media following like Jacqueline Glenn, so there wasn't a whole lot of, steam. It didn't really pick up a whole lot. And this is actually like the third or fourth time you've cheated on the person you've been with? And at that point, when you keep exhibiting the same pattern, but you say words, that it doesn't work that way. Like, if you're gonna say you're gonna do something, do it, and make that change, and make sure that it's consistent with your actual behaviors. I really don't know how hard it is not to stick your ding-dong into somebody when you're in a relationship with somebody else. Like, if you are a monogamous person, or at least you claim to be monogamous, if you claim to be monogamous, be monogamous. Why do you have to be involved with other people? If you're not monogamous, don't pretend that you are monogamous. It's not a complicated thing. Like, if you want to do polyamory relationships and have a bunch of girlfriends and go all around, that's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. That's your prerogative. But if you advertise yourself as somebody who wants a single relationship with monogamy with one person, and then you keep going back on that, screwing them over, with a pattern of almost 3 different people at this point, nobody's gonna take you seriously. Doesn't matter how much sitting around and reflecting and sighs into the camera that you do, it's not gonna change the behavior.
Even if you think you are, you're not. And it destroyed my ego, which was the best thing that could have ever happened to me in all of this, which is good, because now I feel like I understand self-awareness. I try and exercise it often, and I try to understand people and their perspective a teeny bit better now. But this video is about iNabber primarily, but also all the other commentary channels that have made videos about me pretty much since 2019 onwards. Since I've kind of gone dark, I've kind of become irrelevant. But this iNabber fellow YouTuber appeared in Shane Dawson's series. It was a really big deal for him, obviously, and his editing is pretty good, and he's actually, his videos are pretty entertaining. But he recently made a video on me, and I get that sometimes I'm unlikable, and sometimes I have this aura around me of like negativity, and it's very easy over me. It's so easy. Like, I am the lowest hanging fruit. Like, the only lower hanging fruit are like Austin Jones and like Onision, and that makes me so sad, because like, to be even uttered in the same sentence as those people, and to be compared to them often, every day. I see comments every day. I get that the tone of my voice is similar to his. I get that my skin color is the same as his. I get that maybe my demeanor, the way I present myself, can be misconstrued as similar to his. But to be compared to him, or to be told every day that I am Onision 2.0 or I am Diet Onision, is like, I've a couple times, but Jesus Christ, guys, like, look at the rap sheet. It's like, it's not comparable. I'm not him. I'm not him.
You're right, Richie. You're not him. It annoys me too when people start saying, oh, this is Onision 2.0, this is the next Onision. Because while what Richie has done has been horrendous, as far as I'm aware, Richie has never traveled to different states to meet people who are underage. As far as I'm aware, he's never made a web series rating people's bodies on a scale of 1 to 10, and literally judging their physique publicly on his social media and YouTube channel. But what I think people mean by when they compare you to Onision, and this is just me trying to interpret what people mean, Richie, you have an accountability problem. Like, you can make 1,000 videos saying, I did these things, I was really wrong. But again, it goes back to what I said. It's the pattern that you display with your behavior by doing the same act, which ends up with somebody getting hurt over and over and over and over again. In a way, it's the same pattern that Onision has done with hurting every person that he gets involved with. People don't want to be friends with Onision anymore. You, at one point after the breakup with Jacqueline Glenn, literally went after her friends because they were friends with her and friends with you. You went after, like, that's so... I absolutely hate that type of juvenile thinking of somebody's friends with somebody I don't like, therefore I need to go after them, say things that are untrue, just because somebody is friends with somebody else that I don't like. It always makes me think of that time where I met a fan of Onision who was a patron of his I met him and his wife, who were a great, nice couple. They took me out to eat. Told them, you probably don't want to take a photo with me. He said, you know what, we're gonna risk it. They took a photo with me. Bada bing, Onision cut contact with a Patreon, gave him a large sum of money per month just because they took a photo with me. Why does everything have to be so extreme?
But much like iNabber's video or all these other commentary videos, they spend a lot of time ranting about how bad it is to cheat on somebody and how I'm complete trash, and they hyperbolize everything I've done, whether it's correct or not, whether it's truthful or not, it doesn't matter. No one's fact-checking this stuff. It's all just simple entertainment.
The facts are, Richie, is that you've cheated with multiple people. Even after your big breakup with Jacqueline, you cheated on another girl. At that point, there's not a lot of what fact-checking do we need when you knowingly admit that you've done these things and you continue doing it? The reason why people find it entertaining is because you don't change and you exhibit the same behavior. It's almost like a clown, you know? I am all for people make mistakes. I've made my own mistakes on this platform, which I'm going to get into in another video later into the month. But when you make mistakes, you reflect and you try to change. You try to change and you make change. And change takes time. It's a development process. But what has developed with you? The fact that you're not going to date anybody anymore? Because you're just a chronic, you know, cheater at that point? I don't know, man, it confuses me.
I would have considered all these videos roasting in 2017 when I was pulling a ton of views and relevant and I like had a cleaner image, but like since then they won. Like, I'm irrelevant. I'm in my corner of YouTube. I have very little influence. I have my fans that I care about very deeply. They care for me very deeply. We're a very tight-knit group. Every time a commentary channel such as iNabber makes a video about me, there's just a tsunami of hate on all my social medias. TikTok, excluding TikTok, because that's always bad. It's like they're stuck in this time capsule.
Can I just say that I watch iNabber quite frequently, and his videos are very well edited and entertaining. He's also a very, 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 very lax. As in, he's really tame. He's not that mean at all. Compared to, like, me, if you look at some of my older content and things that I would say to people, I've toned down a lot for monetization purposes, obviously. Really, in that video that iNabber made, all he really did was, he looked at it like, he's like, this is really cringy. Because, look, we're creators here. We all make cringy stuff. You go at my old stuff, you're gonna find my old atheist religious videos. Cringy, angry, I was deconverting out of Christianity, like, I get it. Everybody makes cringy stuff. Why does that affect you so much that he's making fun of your cringy content and then makes a point that, hey, you know, you've cheated quite a lot now? Why does that upset you so much? Is it because you know that you actually haven't moved on from the whole cheating aspect? If you've truly changed with this pattern of pathological cheating on your partners, why does it upset you when people bring it up? Get it, nobody likes to be reminded of their past. But the past is also part of you. It is. Regardless of what you've done, it is part of you. It will always be your past. And people, at least when you're a celebrity or any social media following, that past will be used against you in the future, regardless of whether you've debunked it, regardless of whether you've responded to it, regardless of even if you've changed and grown as a person, it's still going to be used thrusting force. There's just nothing you and I can do about that. It's part of the internet, and all that really matters is the fact that you know that you've changed and grown and that you would never do that same mistake that you did in the past. That is called growth. I think, and I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, and there's not a lot of people who, most people, go through that aspect of growth. People like Onision, I would say even you to an extent. I don't see any growth process, I just see the same thing over and over and over again.
Is getting tens of thousands of hate comments in a day when I haven't really done anything in a long time, and I've reflected and like apologized and kept to myself. At what point is this cruel and unfair? Do I stay quiet and just let them cannibalize my name and all this character assassination? Do I just let it happen? Because more and more it's ramping up again, and I haven't done anything and it's ramping up, and every time I go into my comment sections on various social media, more and more often I see people asking what happened, because it was so long ago. I mean, some people were literally a different person when this happened, and these people find my music and they like it, or maybe they're interested in it, but then they see all the comments like, you're canceled, you're awful, and they ask what happened. And I want more than anything to swoop in and try and like tell them, you know, like, or maybe link them some videos, or maybe try and give them a reasonable perspective on like, hey man, like, I'm not perfect, but not what these people are saying I am. But I can't do that. I can't do that to tens of thousands of comments. So instead, I have to watch on my pages these people explain what I've done in this crazy, like, caricature version of myself. Imagine being immortalized as the worst version of yourself.
But you are. That's the problem. Okay, look. Say you're in a relationship and one of your partners is unfaithful to you and they cheat. Okay? I believe one time, I believe in like the one screw up card, essentially. Like if you really cheat on your partner, I believe in forgiveness. I really do. I believe in forgiveness. I believe in trying to make things right. But if it happens a second time or even a third time, at that point, like I'd walk. I'm done. I'm not having any association with this anymore. You're a terrible person overall, and I would assume that that's like something within your being that you don't want help for. That there's some chronic problem that you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. This is not just one incident. This is not just two incidents. Like, Richie, I don't think you understand the severity of what cheating on your partner does to the person who's been cheated on. It destroys them. It makes their identity, it makes their self-esteem, it makes their self-worth literally just drop. It's not something that's pretty. It deeply affects the people involved and their friendships and their families and everybody around them. And I don't think that you understand the amount of pain and hurt that you can cause people by what you've done. I don't think you acknowledge that. And I don't know if you ever are going to acknowledge that fact. You can say a sorry to a camera as many times, but I'm going to repeat myself for the 50th time. Words mean nothing unless they are consistent with your actions.
And that's what most people know you as. It's like, it's the most heartbreaking thing. And like the comments that tell the ones that say I deserve to be forever alone, or, you know, I don't deserve a music career, I don't deserve, how does he still have fans? It's more along the lines of there's so much hate, there's such a wall of hate that can't be penetrated. So it's to the point where if I ever want to collab with anyone, if I ever want to try and get a record or try and get tours, it's just not going to happen, or what I'm doing. And starting over and changing my name, that it won't do anything. I can't. I'm me. As long as I'm a solo artist, these people will follow me to my grave. And I don't know what to do about it, but every time there's a commentary channel video made about me, it's just further reinforced of calling me this awful person when I've never laid a finger on anyone. And I lied. I'm not the person that everyone says I am. But I don't have a platform anymore, so I can't defend myself. All I can do is continue doing what I love, which is making music and making art. And that's it. And it is heartbreaking for me. I will always be the loser. And also, I'm sorry this video is so disjointed. Obviously there's no script, but the thing that gets to me the most, especially in this iNabber video, which you don't have to watch it if you don't want, you know, obviously I don't want to support it, but is how all these commentary channels always so unfairly go after my music. Like, yell at me, yell at my character flaws all you want. I have never tried to come across as this perfect angel. I know I am a flawed, imperfect human being that up a whole lot, but when you come after my music and say that it is shitty and that it is bad, and in iNabber's case, cherry picking covers from anywhere from 4 to 7 years ago when I was first learning how to sing, and treating that like that's what my music is, treating that like that's the end all and that's how it should be represented. Obviously he's not a salesman for my music, but that hurts.
Get over it. Honestly. Oh, Daniel, you're being harsh. No, get over it. Seriously. People are critiquing your music that you started 4, 5, 7 years ago. Get over it, dude. People critique my old content all the time. People go in my old comments and leave comments saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe how you thought this, you're so dumb, blah, 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 blah. People critique my early videos when I converted out of Christianity. Now, I know that's completely different. I'm comparing music to me converting out of Christianity and leaving a religion. The point stands, though, is that it's very similar. I have people attack me all the time and leave me hateful comments on my old content. I've had a couple people go on and post videos, responses to my old content to where I don't even believe the same thing anymore. Nearly 8-9 years ago. That is part of the internet. Like, it's on there for record. People can see my content. People can see your old music. Why are you getting upset at somebody not liking your music from 4 or 7 years ago? Like, this video to me just screams like, I'm upset that people don't like my old content or old music, so I'm gonna whine about his video. Trust me, see my old content of me stuffing food in my mouth or rubbing Nutella on my shoulder, dancing around in a Batman costume, listening to the hamster dance song. It's on my channel. Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's cringy. But it's part of my past. Embrace it. Say, yeah, that was me, and yeah, it wasn't that good. I'm not happy and not proud of it, and it's cringy. I was 16, 17, 18 years old. And if you can't do that, Richie, then get off YouTube and stop making videos like this one that you're making.
That I have essentially dedicated my adult life to, all the music videos that I've spent tens of thousands of practically hundreds of thousands of dollars on, and just an absolute mountain of my time to learn these skills in order to produce and write and sing and do all this stuff, just to be by some British kid across the world who thinks it'd be funny to make fun of a cover I did 5 years ago. This is my life you're talking about, and I'm a person, and it's the most cliche thing you could ever say, but like, I'm a human. I have feelings.
Yeah, and you know what can be said to that, Richie? Jacqueline had feelings. Your last ex had feelings that you cheated on. Those are people who have feelings too. And you lied to them. And you cheated on them. Not once, not twice. And that's the problem. Okay? People don't feel empathy and sympathy for, I'm human, I have feelings, when you've done like one of the worst possible things that you can do in relationships. And that is lie and then cheat on them. That's bad. That is bad. There's no getting past that. At the end of the day, Richie, I mean this sincerely, although I know you don't believe anything I have to say because you don't like me to begin with. But at the end of the day, I do want to see every single person, this includes Onision, by the way, I want to see actual change that these people say that they're trying to go through. I want to see development. I want to see people grow. I want to see people become better. Myself is included in that. And I think I have, personally, I've changed a lot in a lot of good ways here on YouTube compared to my old stuff. I've been wrong. My perspective and worldviews on certain social issues have been completely wrong. And I've adapted and changed those things because I don't believe them anymore. The old me on YouTube is a completely different version of me now. And I want the same for you. Even though I don't like you, I want the same for you. I want the same for every single person to move forward, not take a step back or just stay stagnant. The videos like this that you've published, I don't see any progressive moving forward. I just see you being stagnant, just sitting in a corner, alone, ostracizing yourself in isolation because people leave mean comments. Nobody likes reading mean comments. If you're part of the internet culture, you have to deal with it. If it's really that big of a problem, use a filter. Make all your comments approval only. If that's what if it affects you that much mentally and negatively, then do that. Do whatever you gotta do to help your mental state and improve yourself for the better. Peace.